Let's get back to politics for a moment here, because Hillary Clinton, she wants to bring in more Syrian refugees than even President Obama. We're talking 620,000. And Senator Jeff Sessions, well, he put the price tag on that. He says it's going to cost us at least $403 billion. That's with a B. Fox News national security analyst KT McFarland joins us now. Wow. I mean, she's got, I don't know. You can't really maybe speak for her, but the cost of this alone, $400 billion in this economic atmosphere where we just got good news of a GDP growing 1%.
Look, this was the problem she created, and now we have to foot the bill to fix it. You know, the Libyan war was Hillary's war. And the problem with this, really, Charles, it's three things. One, it's the idea that we're now going to spend an awful lot of money on fixing her problem. Number two, it's a security risk, because we know that a lot of the refugees that are coming in, they can't be vetted because whatever records there are about them don't exist, or they're in ISIS hands. And the third issue is humanitarian. If you really wanted to help these people, don't bring them here where they don't speak the language, they don't have jobs, they don't have housing, they're not acclimated. Keep them in safe zones in the region. Keep them in places where they can set up a life and potentially go back to Syria and Iraq if the good news happens, but also have a life if the bad news happens. Now, that can be paid for not by the United States and $500 billion, but the Europeans could contribute. The wealthy Gulf Arabs should contribute. We could establish safe zones in the region, not refugee camps, but real safe zones where people could live and thrive, where they speak the language, they have the same religion, they have the same background, and their family members are with them.
Although it's unlikely that a lot of these European countries are going to step up, even if, I don't know if that...
I don't know, but here's the problem, is that they're paying such a huge amount of money to do, I mean, the average reports, for example, coming out of Sweden or Germany, say that the average migrant refugee is going to be 10 years that he's going to be a ward of the state, if you will, before he's a productive member of those societies. Right,
and of course, well, that's the reason they go there, right?
Yeah, absolutely.
They're beacons for massive welfare programs. You get there, you sign up, and you're almost on, you're on the easy street from there on out. But, you know, they don't even, they can't even afford their, could they actually, because they don't spend to the amount that most of them said they would on defense, could that actually even be considered defense spending by putting the money instead of maybe, okay, you don't want to buy an F-15, help at least set up these safe zones?
That's a great use of their funds. It would be much better to spend the money in the Middle East, where it's cheaper and better for the refugees than it is to do it in Europe. But I want to point out that the refugee spending in Europe is crowding out education. It's definitely crowding out their defense spending. European countries are spending more now on the refugees than they are on defense and education.